Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here.
I know. I get all sorts of hype.
How's everything going for you?
It's going good.
I'm excited to see what happens by the end of this month with Black Friday.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's gonna be fun. Hi, Dari.
Hey, Bren.
How you doing, hot mama?
Woohoo. I'm moving. See?
Hey, did you see the pictures from our retreat and that picture of you with your shirt off?
Oh, jeez.
I was like, can I grow
Really?
up and be like Dory?
I didn't think, well, anyway.
No, we don't say any bad things out loud.
Okay.
You looked amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
My muscle will be as big as Dory's. Hi, Lisa. Hi.
There's Carrie. Hi,
I can't
Carrie.
hear you. Hello.
Hiya.
How's it going?
Really good.
Yeah.
Your watch band matches your phone. Look at that.
Does.
Are you a leopard print kind of gal?
Of course.
I could have told you that.
Yeah, right? I mean, come on, Bryn. You saw me wear all my
You
outfits.
now see her at the arm wrestling thing, and she's a that. I think that we're friends. I'm just gonna say that.
Aw, thank you.
What is this?
Hey, Lisa, how come you're so clear?
Because I'm awesome.
I'm trying to figure out why I'm not as, the imager. Do you have what kind of computer do you have?
Mac.
Me too. That's old one.
See, this is my thing. I have a cat unicorn. Wait for it. See, this happens to me all day long. No, I'm not kidding you. All day.
Oh no, I feel you. I have a cat too. Mine does it when I go to the bathroom. Like I won't even know. Like it'll be like she's not even alive, and then I'll sit down on the toilet and it's like out of nowhere.
Let Megan tell you the name of her cat.
What is your name? What is the name of your cat, Megan?
Jameson.
Like, she'll be on, like, a thing with our team, and, like, new people will be on there, and she's like, Jameson, stop, or whatever. And I'm like, people are going to think you're talking your alcohol.
There ain't nothing wrong with talking to your alcohol. Okay? Sometimes when I'm really lonely, my alcohol talks back.
Yeah. Me and my wine were like best friends.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me put a message in here before we start. I'm really freaking excited about this training. I've been thinking about it all day.
Can I just tell you, those voice messages have been like the bomb.
What, in the chat?
No, the ones that I've been sending out to people.
Oh, yes. That's why I told you to send them to everybody. They were fan-freaking-tastic.
And actually, our team is doing them, so it's been huge.
I'm super freaking proud of you. This is why I teach voice messages for everything. Yes, I give people scripts because a lot of people, they're not going to be willing to send a voice message, and a lot of people they're not going to know what to say. But if you take the time to create those, or even just like, not even with follow-up, but just having conversations with people, it'll always take you further than an actual script. So anyways, I am proud of you. All right, guys, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. So I am like just so pumped about, here we got a lot of people coming on right now, about this month and everything going on. And I've been talking a lot with a lot of you on the back end. And one thing I do want to remind you guys of before we get started on this training is, and we're going to talk a little bit about emotions today, because I feel like a lot of us allow ourselves to get way too freaking emotional in our businesses, and it's not usually a good thing. But understanding the ups and downs in the minds of the people on your team, and even controlling the ups and downs in your own mind, right? Like, once again, like I talk about all the time, understanding industry trends, right? Like, I literally had a conversation with a girl a lot lower, way down beneath me on my team, today that was literally on the verge of leaving and going somewhere else because she felt stuck and she felt like she hit a rut and she didn't know how to get out of it, right? And so she's been watching other people preach fast money, easy, it's easier here, like all these things, right? And so when I actually had a conversation with her, I'm like, okay, well, I just kind of want to know where your head's at. Let's just talk through this before you make a decision, right? Like how do you feel about our company? Like, how do you feel about the leadership? How do you feel about the integrity of the company? How do you feel about the products? How do you feel about the business model? She's like, oh my gosh, I love it all. I love the company. I love the integrity of the company. I love the products, you know? And so I asked her, I said, okay, so now tell me, what is it that's attracting you to this other company? And she said, well, it just looks like really easy and I'm in a rut and I see people over there and they're talking about all this money they're making. And I said, okay, so let's get this clear before we move forward. So you are currently in a place where you love the integrity of the company, you love the products, you love the business model, you love your leadership, right? Like, and the only reason you're looking at anything else is because you feel currently stuck, you feel like you're not growing, and you see something else that looks easier. I said, I want you to hear what you're saying because you need to understand that it doesn't matter where you go. Anybody could be successful in any company, with any products, with any comp plan, okay? But you have to ask yourself, because I can guarantee you, if you had told me that you hated the company and you didn't think it had integrity and you didn't love the products, right, then we'd be having a different conversation. But you have to understand that 6 months to a year from now, in that next company, you're going to be sitting in the exact same position you are right now, because once it's not new anymore, it's going to get hard and you have to dig your heels in. So I want you to always be asking yourself these questions. And basically what I had to help her realize is she was making emotional decisions based off of just normal things. So understanding industry trends, understanding what time of year it is, understanding the right questions to have with people. It's important because oftentimes people make decisions emotionally. Okay? So what I want you guys to understand about November is, because I've had a lot of conversations with people, is something about November like gets people excited, but it also makes them feel really overwhelmed and it messes with their head because they have these big expectations. But guess what? The sales haven't even gone live yet. So everybody's like, oh, the numbers are slow. Like, I don't know, it's not going to be that big. Like, the biggest thing is, I want you guys, and as we go into this training, I want you to not only for yourself, but model for your team. And in every conversation you have, to not let your emotions get the best of you. To really learn how to ask the right questions, both to yourself and to other people in any given situation. Because at the end of the day, most people every decision they make is emotional, okay? Business is not emotional. It's not. And if it's emotional for you, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? And I'm gonna get to that in the end of this training. But the training I'm gonna do today is all on leadership. I actually have been having a lot of conversations with each of you kind of on the back end about different situations that you're having right now, where you're having a little bit of trouble, or you're not sure how to grow in that area. And so I want to give you guys a foundation of leadership. And these to me are the 10 pillars, the 10 pillars of leadership. In everything that I do and I say, I live and breathe off of these things. Because at the end of the day, if you really truly want a business that not only grows, but continues to grow year after year, and eventually does not need you, which is what we all want in the long run, right? True residual income, true freedom, then you have to understand these leadership pillars. And you have to live and breathe them in everything you do and say. Okay? You guys ready? All right. So, did everybody that was trying to get on, were they all able to get on really quick? Did Allison get on? Yeah, Allison ended up getting on. Okay. Okay. All right. So, number one, okay, we need to build a vision. Okay, you may have heard this before. You know, I've talked to you guys about having your own personal vision for your own personal brand. It's important. But even more so, you have to be able to build the vision for your team. Okay? You have to be able to have them to have something that they are latched onto that is going to keep them there, that is going to keep them alive, that is going to keep them moving and growing and wanting to be a part of something. Okay? If it's just about, oh, be a part of this company, we're going to sell some products, we're going to make some money, that is not enough for most people, and that is not enough to grow a massive team. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. How do you want your team to feel about what they are a part of? What do you want that to make them feel with the vision of your team? Okay? How do you want outsiders to see your team? How do you want corporate to see your team? Okay? All of you know that my team is the bunch of badasses. Okay? The vision that I had for my team and what I wanted other people on the outside to see and what I wanted every single person in my team to feel was that it was a place that welcomed everyone. That all of these people who have always felt like a square peg trying to fit into a round hole would finally have a place that they fit in. A place where they could grow, a place where they could have fun, a community of people that were going to be there to support them, regardless of who they are, what religious beliefs they have, whether they're big, whether they're small, whether they're black, whether they're white, no matter what race they are. I wanted a place that loved and accepted everybody. On the outside, I wanted people to see a group of people that were having a freaking blast. I wanted to be the team that everybody wanted to be a part of, because everybody who walks by our team goes, damn it, those people are having a lot of fun. I want to have more fun in my life. I want to be a part of something more than just the day-to-day boredom of life, okay? This is a vision that I cast for my team. It is something that I showed up and poured into them and spoke over them every day. It's something that we came together and made as a whole together, right? Do you guys see this on the outside with my team? When you see us doing whatever we're doing, it's why, you know, I introduced Dance Party Friday. It's why we're the badasses. It encompasses everything about who we are, right? So I want you to understand that having a vision for your team, having something that they are a part of that is outside of just selling products and making money, okay? This is how you grow a massive movement. That is your job. Your team is a movement, okay? Have that vision. Now, once you have this vision, and I encourage you to have some fun with your team and get together with them and do like a vision workshop with them, maybe on Zoom. Maybe you guys talk about what kind of lasting impact you guys want to make. How do you want other people to see you guys on the outside when you're marketing your team, when you're showing everybody that we're something special? You want to be a part of what we have, right? Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of network marketing companies out there. There's a lot of leaders they could join. There's a lot of teams they could join. I have had so many people join me and my team, even though they didn't choose my company. They might have chose another company over the company that I'm with, but because of who we are and what we represented and what the vision was of what we're doing together, they chose me. They chose my team, because it was more important for them to be a part of that kind of vision and that kind of culture than it was being a part of any specific company. Does that make sense? All right, so number one, build the vision. build a culture around that vision. It has to be something more. It has to be big. It has to be a movement. You should have this, and you can come together. You can make a team mission statement. All of you are in my team page. In the welcome post in my team page, I'm literally selling them the vision of who we are as badasses. It's the first thing they get tagged in. It's the first thing they see because I want them to know it immediately. It's also something I continually beat into their brains on every team Zoom, on every training and everything I'm doing and I'm saying. I'm constantly talking about this vision that I have created for us. Okay? Everybody got that one? All right, that's number one. I gotta get a little bit more of my go juice. Hold on. All right, by the way, your team name should reflect it. Your team name is a big deal, okay? It gives somebody, and it gives them something to be a part of. Like your team name, you should want to have on hats and t-shirts. It should be something that people proudly want to wear. Does this make sense? It brings people together. The more you can bring people together with a common vision and a common purpose and a common movement, the stronger your culture is, the stronger your team is, the bigger it's gonna grow, okay? All right, number 2, over communication, okay? You want to over communicate with your people. You want them to see you as a leader. You need to know what the hell is going on, okay? You are the one who is constantly updating them and letting them know what is going on in the company, with the sales, with new product launches, right? You're the one who's putting together the plans. You are the one, okay? But at the same time, I want you to understand you have to keep it simple. Over communicate, but keep it simple. So many people mess up on this, okay? Your team should know that they know that they know that they know exactly where to go if they need information, okay? So we all know that not everybody's paying attention all the time, right? We all know people are not going to be able to keep up in your chats all the time. We all know most people have full-time jobs and kids and sports and life, right? I have to let my dog in. I'm sorry, you guys. My family's not here. Hold on. No, you cannot come in here with me. I don't like you right now. You keep getting on my couch. Anybody want a dog? I mean, like, I'll let you pay me for him. I mean, I'll pay you is more like it. I'll pay you to take him. Who wants $1 million and a dog? What if I paid you $1 million? I'm a horrible person. I'm not a dog person. I'm a cat person. Okay, so here's the thing, right? We all know that not everybody is able to stay up to date all the time. In fact, the majority of people on your team probably only have enough time or are willing to take enough of their time to check it out once a day, if that. But if they don't know where to go for the information exactly and it's not easy for them to access, I guarantee you they will have no idea what's going on because they will not go and actively try to find the information themselves, okay? And if it's only like, if they have to scroll back in a freaking messenger chat, screw it, bye, they're done. Like, they're not gonna do it, right? You have to think, what do I teach you guys all the time? Everything you do and say is for the 80%ers, not the 15 and 5%ers. If a 10-year-old can't do it, it's too hard. So what I want you to do is I want you to make sure you're over communicating, but you are keeping it simple, right? In your mind, you have to think, okay, if people are busy and I need to make sure that they know exactly what's going on, because what happens when people don't know what's going on is when they try to jump back in, they get way overwhelmed. And what is the number one reason people quit? Because they're overwhelmed, right? So you need to make it simple. Okay. So here's what I do with my team, and it's up to you however you want to do it. But I tell them over and over and over and over again on every training, on every team Zoom, and almost every voice message I send, remember, if you want to know what's going on, all you have to do is check the team page once a day. Anything important will be tagged in the announcements. Okay? I only put important stuff in there. And I also constantly go through and re-look at what I have in the announcements and take stuff out if it's no longer relevant, because I don't want to overwhelm people. I want them to know that if they need to know what's going on, which we want them to know what's going on because they actually do stuff when they know what's going on, right? I want to make sure that they're not getting overwhelmed. So we have to keep it simple. It's the same thing with your units, okay? You should not have 500 million trainings on 500 million things in your team page. Why? Because people get overwhelmed. They get overwhelmed and they go down the rabbit hole and they take zero action because they feel like they have to know everything before they do anything, okay? So we want to over communicate, but we have to keep it simple, okay? That's number 2. All right. Number 3, be approachable. Okay? Be approachable. You need to understand that as a leader, you want to teach your people to vent up and shine down. How many of you have heard that before? Okay? But if you are not the type of person that validates people by listening when they do complain or when they are negative, right? Then you are not approachable. Now, what do I talk about with your energy bubble, right? You also don't want people poking holes in your energy bubble, right? So I want you to sit there and listen to negative people constantly, but I want you to be approachable. They need to feel comfortable to be able to come to you if they have a problem. If they have drama with somebody else in your team, they need to know that you're the type of person that will listen. Now, here's what I do with my people when they come to me, and because I want them to know, and I tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, look, anything you need, any advice, whatever, I'm always here. Here's my cell phone number. Feel free to message me, okay? I have business hours, but I will always get back to you. I don't care what level you are on this team, you are always welcome in my inbox. You can always come to me if you need anything. It's part of the vision I created. It's part of the culture I created. I'm very approachable. I want anybody, I don't care if you're 20 levels down, feeling comfortable to come to me, right? So, but here's the thing is, I let them vent. I let them speak their negativity or their complaints or whatever, and I listen. I hear them, but I only give them a minute. If they're gonna be negative, I only give them a minute, okay? If they come to me, they're like, look, I have this problem. I'm really frustrated right now. I'm like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You got 1 minute. You can tell me all the things. You can throw freaking crap at the wall if you need to. You can get mad, but you got 1 minute. Let it out. I'm here. I'm a safe place. After that minute, you and we're gonna find a solution, okay? I'll give them their minute because I want them to feel validated. I want them to feel heard, okay? They need to hear that. And I'm also not going to sugarcoat things. If there are some real issues going on, like maybe the company's having shipping issues, or maybe the company's having back order issues, or whatever it is, I'm going to listen. I'm going to validate them and help them know that I understand what you're going through, but here's what we're going to do. After a minute, we're going to get solutions focused. Right? I'm going to help you find a solution to this problem because here's what I want to do. I want you to learn how to be a leader. I believe in you. I want you to be self-sufficient. And the first step to doing that is having a solutions-oriented mindset, right? There will always be problems. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. And the more we can practice that muscle, the more we can pave that pathway in our brain to turn negativity to solutions. The bigger your team's gonna grow, the more successful you're gonna be. right? So I want to be approachable. I want to be a listener. I want them to know that they can vent, but I also don't want them poking holes in my energy bubble. And I also want to learn to empower them to have a solutions mindset. Okay? This is simple stuff. Now, you also, as a leader, need to be willing to have the tough conversations. Okay? There are going to be times, because we're approachable and we want our people to approach us, because let me just tell you, one bad apple in your team can ruin everything. It can cause so much poison. So you also have to be able to be the type of leader that is willing to have the tough conversations and have them immediately. Okay? I had to have a couple months ago, probably one of the most tough conversations I've ever had in my life with one of my strong leaders. It was a very hard situation. I mean, there were people willing to go to corporate about it, and there was a chance that if this went to corporate, the possibility that this person could have been terminated was there. Okay? I had to have a real conversation about this person and their drinking problem. Do you think I enjoyed that? No. But if this was not nipped in the butt and nipped in the butt immediately, it could have caused so much poison on my team. And that poison would have seeped down, and I could have lost that entire leg. I had people outside of that leg coming to me about this. So sometimes we have to have the hard conversations, but guess what? All of those people felt safe to come to me in the first place. Even though they cared about this person, they were willing to come to me because they knew that I would handle it and that I would be approachable. Make sense? Okay, so we need to be approachable. Now, I also always want you guys to show and lead with gratitude first. Okay? So in every situation, whether it's a tough conversation you have to have, whether it's somebody coming to you with negativity, in every situation, whether you're doing a training, whether you are like talking to somebody who's doing nothing, or you're talking to somebody who's crushing it, gratitude's always first. It should be the first thing that comes out of your mouth, right? Let's say Erin comes to me, she's freaking really frustrated. She's like, oh my gosh, like I can't deal with these shipping issues. There's all this crap going on. My customers aren't getting their things. Like, what's the first thing out of my mouth? Erin, thank you so much for coming to me and sharing your feelings with me. I hear you. I see you. I know this is a frustrating time, right? Like, I'm always going to show gratitude first, okay? Y'all good on number 3? Are you guys finding value in this so far? All right. Number 4. Build rapport. You need to know who your runners are. Yo ass needs to be tap rooting yo butt off. Okay, I did a whole training on this back several months ago on tap rooting. You should always, I don't care how far down in your organization they are, you should always know who your runners are. You should always have an eye out on people coming in that are moving and shaking. You need to develop relationships with these people. I don't care how far down they are in your downline. You need to develop relationships with these people. These are the people that you're talking to on the back end. These are the people that you're creating relationships where you're getting to know who their kids are and who their spouse is, and you're constantly feeding into them and loving on them and helping them and talking to them about higher level things and pushing them and growing them and moving forward with them, okay? Because this is the start of how you build leaders. And essentially, if you don't learn how to build leaders underneath you and you are always the only leader, you will not grow a big team, okay? So building rapport is super important. So number 1, always know who your runners are and be tap rooting. I know one thing that I love about our company is we get text messages when people rank up. I love this because it allows me to get into these people's inboxes as they're ranking up, sending them voice messages and congratulating them. starting that conversation. As they start ranking up, I see, oh, this person's starting to rank up pretty quickly. They're not just hitting one a month or whatever. Like, I know I need to know this person. They need to know me. They need to know that I'm approachable. They need to know that I'm their gal. I'm right there with them in the trenches, right? So you also want to make sure that team-wide you're building rapport as well. Once again, being approachable is part of that. But start thinking about how you could do weekly Zooms with your team or weekly power hours. There's lots of different ideas you can do. You could do team happy hour events where it's not even like you're not even talking about the business. Once a week or once every couple of weeks, you're just getting together with the team and you're playing games and you're showing up and you're having a couple drinks together or whatever, right? Like you're building a bond with these people, okay? It has to be about more than business. If it is all business all the time, people do not stick around, okay? They're not having any fun. They'll find somewhere else to go, okay? But if you build that rapport and if they're having fun with you and if they know you as a human and if they feel like you know them as a human and it's not just about business, right? If you have people locally to you, once a month, get together, go out for Mexican and margaritas, man. Like, it's not even about business. Like, you're just getting together as a family. It's all part of that vision that you brought together, right? Like, it's all part of solidifying the glue of who you guys are. It's the same thing like I talk about. Your team page should not be all business. It should be fun too. There should be silly things going on in there. There should be fun posts going on there. There should be fun challenges going on there that have nothing to do with business. Right? Does this make sense? So it needs to be about fun. You also want to understand what makes people feel appreciated. Okay, how many of you have read The 5 Love Languages? Okay, I highly recommend this book for everything in your life. Like, I know my kids' love language. I know my husband's love language. I know my friends' love languages. I know most of my leaders' love languages. Why? Because everybody feels appreciated differently. And if I can figure out what makes somebody feel appreciated, I can keep them around forever because I can love them in the way that they want to be loved, not necessarily the way that I want to be loved, right? So I have some people on my team, I have alarms set in my phone to literally shout them out for no reason. Just shout them out to make them feel good. They're words of affirmation people. I got to be in their inbox and lifting them up and telling them how amazing they are. I know this about them. And here's the thing is, when I don't do it, their mindset goes, so does their production. When I do it, it takes me like 5 seconds and they are on freaking fire because it's all they need. It's all they need. Some of those people love to get gifts. I have certain people that I just send random gifts just via Amazon once a month because that's just their love language, man. It's how they feel loved. And it makes it, they're like, wow, she really cares, right? Some people it's quality time. I'll take extra time speaking to them in Messenger or getting on the phone with them, right? Like, know who your people are. Know what makes them feel appreciated. I'll ask them when they first start. Not only do I ask them, what do you want out of this? Because you need to know what they want. We always need to know what they want. We need to know what they want because it helps us launch them properly. We also need to know what they want because it helps us keep them around, right? But I'll ask them too, what lights you up? What feeds your fire? Do you like quality time? Is it words of affirmation? Do you like acts of service? Do you like getting gifts? How do you feel loved? How do you feel recognized, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with asking those questions. And in fact, when I ask people these questions, they're like, man, nobody's ever asked me that. That's really awesome. Like, I really feel like a part of something, okay? So, build rapport, okay? You all know this. I teach this as well. Every single one of you have heard this from me at some point. If you have not, then I don't know. You're either brand new to coaching with me or you've never listened to me at all. Every single day, I send 10 gratitude messages to people in my downline. It is not asking them if they need help. It is not asking them what they're going to do today. I am simply just getting in their inbox and saying, Dory, I love you. I'm so appreciative of you. You make me smile. Thank you for being a part of this. How amazing would that make you feel? Right? It opens up the door for a relationship. It opens up the door for them to say, you know what? I think I want to do this. Or it just makes them feel amazing and they keep running their smart ship and they're still a part of your family because they got the support in the community they wanted. They just felt like you were grateful for them regardless of whether they were doing anything or not. Okay, this is how you build rapport. All right, man, we might be on here for 2 hours today. Just kidding. I'm gonna finish it in an hour, I swear. I talk a lot though. Somebody needs to put a muffle on me. My husband would probably really enjoy that. Maybe somebody should buy me one for Christmas and I'll wear it for him on that day. Alrighty then. All right, number 5. We need to learn how to delegate. I can't tell you how many of you struggle with this because most of us leaders who want to freaking crush it, we don't think that anybody's ever going to do anything as good as we do it. And so we hate to delegate because we want it done perfectly. This is the biggest mistake, you guys. You are choking out the growth on your team. You are choking it out. It's okay to let them make mistakes when you delegate. It's okay. They learn faster. They grow stronger, okay? So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to start identifying those people in your downline and what their strengths are. Everybody has different ones. If you're a part of my team, you know I delegate like crazy, right? I delegate like crazy. I have specific people that will run the opportunity Zooms. I have specific people that will run our customer group. I have specific people that run the free challenges in the customer group. I even got the best freaking virtual assistant ever, those of you who use Mary, just by identifying somebody in my downline who was already doing those things for free. She just loved to help people. She was always answering questions in the chat. She knew the back office by the back of her hand. She just freaking loved it, man. She was always adding things to the album section of the team page and asking if she could help with the unit. Like, I identified this, right? Identify those people in your downline that have different skills than you do. Identify their strengths, because I guarantee you that a lot of these people are aching to take a step up, but they're probably too damn scared to do it because they think that you are going to do everything, or they want you to do everything because that's the way you've made it in the past. You need to delegate. This right here is the key to building leaders, right? They will never learn to lead if you don't teach them to step up and take initiative. Right? So where somebody in my downline may not do something as well as I do, you know, so like you guys see these plans that I put together for my team every month, right? Because I give you guys access to them. I'm delegating people to create the stories. I'm delegating people to create the scripts. I'm delegating people to create what we put in our team page. I'm delegating. Sometimes do they do it as well as I think I would do it? No. But does it matter? No, as long as it's simple and people can follow it, we good to go. I didn't have to do it, number 1, which helps me slowly take that step back so that my whole team is not dependent on me. But it also allows them to step up. And then how do you think they feel when they get recognition for being the one that made that challenge, or the one that made those scripts, or the one that made those stories? They feel good and they take the next step on their leadership process. And they start to feel like, hey, maybe I can do this, right? Maybe I can lead a team. You're helping instill that confidence in them by allowing them. And hey, I also, like, there's been times where people have crashed and burned. I asked them to do something and they crashed and burned and they got super upset. And I went to that person, I'm like, dude, I'm so freaking proud of you. Like, I'm so freaking proud of you. That was amazing. You just learned one of the biggest lessons you're ever going to learn on leadership. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, with what you just did, what worked, what didn't, and how can I improve it, right? That's why I teach this all the time. I said, and I want you to really write this down. And then next month, guess what? I'm going to give you the same task. You're going to crush it, right? I'm empowering them. I didn't make them feel like crap. I'm like, dude, who cares? We all make mistakes. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Don't beat yourself up. It's the first time you did it. It's freaking awesome, right? What worked, what didn't, how can we improve it? I'm empowering them, okay? So I also want you to encourage your team leaders to run things for their own team. I'm always encouraging my team to run promotions for their own people, to do weekly team Zooms or power hours with their own team. Why do I not do a power hour or a weekly team call with my team anymore? Because I don't have to. Because all my leaders are doing it for their teams, right? Because I empowered them to do it. When I did my weekly team call and team Zooms, and when I did my weekly team power hours, I would let different leaders host them. So each week a different leader would take it on, right? Because I was empowering them to learn that they could do it themselves. And then I slowly started stepping back. Make sense? I'm empowering my leaders. One of the things that I find is also super helpful. So, and I think I've shared this with you guys, like when you're doing a team Zoom, I kind of have like a formula, right? You want to have a host and you want to have 3 people speaking, okay? It should never be more than 30 minutes long. Okay, you want to have one person that's freaking crushing it. Like this person is crushing it. They're ranking up. They're doing the things. Like they're freaking crushing it. You want to have one person that's about middle ground, right? Like they're growing slowly and steadily. Okay, and you want to have one person that might be newer, or maybe they've been around for a while and they just now maybe got their first customer, or they just now maybe got their first business partner, or maybe they just ranked up for the first time, right? Like, and each person shares their story, their background, right? You want to let the first person sharing be the person who's brand new or just got their first customer, the lower level person. This is your inspiration story. This is what gets everybody fired up. It's what gives everybody on the team call going, oh my gosh, if she can do it, I can do it. If it took her 6 months to get her first customer, I can do that, right? Does that make sense? And then you have your middle level person, and you give each one give a tip, by the way, a simple tip, a simple action step, a simple training, right? The middle person is going to talk about consistently how they're just showing up consistently every day, putting one foot in front of the other, right? And then your person who's crushing it, you really want to make sure that they give a good background. Hey, I might be crushing it now, but man, I put in years and years and years growing, and here's what I did, and I just kept showing up, and I didn't get frustrated, right? Like, and now here's what I'm doing to crush it. This formula works all the time and every time, by the way, because it doesn't turn anybody off, and it doesn't have anybody taking a why bother attitude. It also is inspiring, and it's giving them each an action step. So people feel like no matter what level they're at, they can take action right when they get off. At the same time, what else are you doing? You're empowering. Think about that person who just hit their first rank, or they just got their first customer, and they get asked to share on a big team call. You gave them their first step in leadership. You allowed them and you empowered them to show up, even though they were probably really scared to talk in front of everybody. How amazing do you think they're going to feel after that? They want to go out and get that next customer. They want to go out and get that next rank because you saw them. You saw them. Even if it was just one customer, you saw them. And they saw you see them. Make sense? All right. So delegate. All right. By the way, all of that is how you build leaders and not followers. You don't want followers on your team. You want leaders. You want people that are going to step up and do without you. What happens if you got sick and you couldn't show up? You want your team to keep producing? You want the paycheck to keep coming in, right? Like, you just never know what could possibly happen in life. Like, build leaders. All right, number 6 is lead by example. Okay, you've probably heard me talk about this all the time. They are always watching you. They are always watching you. Everything you do and say, they are watching you, and they are subconsciously in their mind saying, that's what I'm going to have to do to get to that level. Okay, so number 1, you have to demonstrate that you're always in the trenches with them. They always need to see you bringing in new customers and new reps, right? Like if you want to empower your team and inspire your team to show up and do the work, they have to see you doing it. Because let me tell you, they're watching your actions and not your words. They're always watching your actions and not your words. It's the same thing with everything I just shared, right? Why do you think I've been able to build such a strong team that has fun, that loves on each other, that supports each other, that is approachable, because I have modeled all of those things. I set a vision for what I wanted. I set a culture for what I wanted, and I have modeled it from the very first day. And then I brought in people, and they modeled it, and they modeled it, and they modeled it. And I've always been in the trenches with them. I've always been there with them, right? 80% of my time is still spent on my own personal business. Only 20% is spent on my team. You do not have to spend more than 20% of the time on your team. Okay? This is why I talk about having a schedule. I talked to Allison about this yesterday. I am very specific with my schedule because I have specific times of day where I'm getting certain things done. And when that time of day is up, I'm done doing that thing until the next day. Right? Like my team knows my business hours. They know them. They also know I'm crushing my personal activity. They know these things because they watch me and because I over communicate with them. Back to one of the previous steps. They know and they see everything that I do. I'm modeling to them that I still do my power hour. I'm modeling to them that I'm not at their beck and call all of the time, that I have family time, that I have business hours. I'm modeling to them that they don't have to be on their phone from 7 in the morning until midnight at night in order to be successful. But I'm also modeling to them that I crush my personal activity intentionally. And that's what needs to happen in order to grow a team. They're always watching everything you do and say. They're watching how you speak to people. They're watching how you speak to the team. They're watching how you treat everybody on the team, whether they have small desires or big desires. Everything starts with you. They're always watching, okay? Always lead by example. Always be asking yourself, what is my team seeing from me today? In my team chat, what are they seeing from me? In my team page, what are they seeing from me? In three-way chats, on three-way calls, what are they seeing from me? Right? Are they seeing me share about products and the opportunity in my stories? Are they seeing me create curiosity? Are they seeing me show up and do live videos? Are they seeing me getting pre-orders? Are they seeing me doing the work? But also, are they seeing me model to them that this doesn't have to be their whole life? Because they will subconsciously sabotage themselves if they think that they have to be on their phone all day long in order to be successful. Make sense? All right. Number 7, provide feedback. This is very important. But most people do this really, really wrong. Okay? You guys have heard me say it a million times. Give advice when asked for it. Right? But there is a way that you can initiate that conversation to be able to provide feedback that people need in order to be successful. It's why I also tell you, you need to know what people want out of their business, and you need to be having that conversation, and what makes people feel alive, what makes people feel recognized. These things are important, okay? So how many of you have heard of the compliment sandwich? Okay, so I remember like my first like real people job when I sold food for US Food Service, and I will never forget my boss. He had such an amazing way of making me feel amazing about myself, but also lang bang in my ass, right? It's where I got the lang bang is the compliment sandwich, right? Like he had the perfect way of giving me constructive criticism in just the right way that empowered me and made me feel good instead of made me feel like a piece of shit, okay? Because a lot of times, even if you don't think you're doing that to people. right? So how many of you, when you see somebody like they're posting 7 times a day, it's all product, they're not doing anything but like posting spam all over their social media, like the first thing we want to do is get in there because we want to help them. We want them to actually make money. We want them to sell. We want them to get what they want out of it, right? How many of you want to approach that person and be like, hey, girlfriend, like, you can't do that, right? Like, I want to help you, but there's a way to do it, okay? So number one, most of the time, I only give advice when asked for it. When people come to me and they want my advice, I first ask them if they're coachable, because I'm gonna ask them before I give them any advice, are you coachable? And if they tell me yes, I'm gonna compliment sandwich them. But you can also initiate the conversation. If something needs to be changed, like you see this person, I mean, it's just bad, and they're complaining about not having sales and everything, like, I would, like, say it's Michelle, okay? Let's use Michelle as an example. Although this is not Michelle at all. But let's say, like, Michelle's telling me all the time, she's like, I want sales, right? Or like, I see her complaining in the team page, I don't get it. You guys have seen this. People will be like, how are you getting all these sales? I don't get it. Like, I'm doing all the things, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I just need to say something because I know exactly why they're not getting the sales, right? Let's say I would approach Michelle and I'd be like, hey, Michelle, what's up, girlfriend? And I'm going to give her the compliment sandwich. I say, Michelle, girl, I see you. You are showing up every single day. I see you showing up on social media, and I see you putting in the work. And I just want to say, number one, I'm super thankful to be a part of this with you, right? Lead with gratitude. Number two, like, I'm super proud of you for putting that effort in, right? I know you're a busy mom. I know you got a lot going on, and I just want you to know that I see you. But let me ask you really quick, are you coachable? Would you like to get more sales? Would you like to have your posts be more effective? And Michelle's probably gonna go, yeah, I want that. Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, let me break something down for you, okay? Number one, I'm gonna start with a personal experience, right? I'm gonna make her relate to me. I'm gonna say, look, I see you showing up. I remember when I first started network marketing and I had no idea what I was doing. I was so excited. I wanted to tell everybody about my products. Like, I loved them so much. I was literally posting on social media like 7 times a day because I was just so excited. Like, I felt amazing. I wanted everybody else to feel amazing, right? And so I'm posting. I'm like, I don't get it. I just want everybody to feel amazing. But nobody's buying. Nobody's getting on these products. Like, what the heck am I doing wrong? And I was so thankful because I had a mentor that helped me realize that what I was actually doing by constantly over and over and over pushing it in people's faces is I was actually pushing people away. And so once she showed me exactly how to post on social media in a way that wasn't putting it in their face, right? Like, I actually started to get sales. So with that being said, I'm so freaking proud of you and all the effort you're putting in, but would you like to know exactly what I learned so that I can help you do the same thing? Well, now Michelle's like, heck yes, tell me. You're super successful. I want to be successful. You did it right. I helped her relate to me and made her feel amazing about showing up, regardless of whether she's getting results. Now I'm going to point her to a tool. I'm going to give her some homework. I'm like, okay, Michelle, I want you to go watch this training. I want you to take notes, and I want you to come back to me and tell me what you found, okay? That training is going to tell her exactly what she needs to know. She's going to take notes. Hopefully she's going to come back to me, and now she's going to feel empowered. She's going to know what to do, and I didn't make her feel like crap about it, okay? Does that make sense? Learning this is so important. And same thing, maybe Kim comes to me for advice about something, right? She's like, I don't get it. Like, I'm like putting so many people in 3-way chats and like they're not going anywhere. Like, I don't get it. Like, what's going on? And so I'm gonna do the same thing with Kim. Like, oh, girlfriend, I got you. I'm gonna give her an experience where I went through the same thing. I don't care if you make it up. You have to be relatable. Be relatable to them. right? And I'm gonna be like, I'm so proud of you. I see you working. You're putting all these people in three-way chats. Like, you're busting your butt. Like, girl, I'm so grateful for you, you know, but hey, I know exactly how I can help you. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go watch this training, right? I want you to take notes, because what else are you doing? You're also empowering them to become their own leader. You're empowering them to own their own business. You're teaching them to go out and find the information, and that it's not just going to be you that they rely on. Do you see how I'm mind ninjaing all of this? Like, this is why this is the 10 pillars of leadership, okay? All right. Oh, and last thing too, I like, number one, like, pour on the recognition, not just in behind closed doors, but pour it on publicly, man. Like, pour it on. So Michelle's posting every day. She may be spamming the crap out of her people. She's posting 7 times a day, but she's still showing up. Praise her in public. Like, Michelle, I'm so proud of you. I see you showing up every single day. I see you on social media every single day, going out and working to crush your business. Like, it's so powerful, that public recognition. It's even more powerful most of the time than recognition behind closed doors is. Okay. Also, I am I'm really big about teaching every single person that I'm talking to on my team. You guys hear me say it all the time, to analyze backwards. You want them to grow. You want them to become leaders. You want them to own their own business. You want them to be empowered. Like, teach them the skills that they need to have to learn how to be better. We can always get better. I can't tell you how many times you have people come to you, they're just like defeated. They're like, I don't get it. Like, I feel like I'm doing everything. I'm not getting anywhere. Well, I want you every day, at the end of the day, I want you to sit down. I want you to learn how to analyze backwards. Okay, look at everything you did today. What did you do that was good? What did you do that didn't work? What can you tweak tomorrow to make it better? Teach your people to do this every single day. They will learn and they will grow and they will get better. Okay? All right, number 8, offer rewards. Recognition like crazy for activity. This is why I run activity-based promos all of the time. It's why there's constant shout outs for activity in our team page and in our team chats, because it's important. If you recognize the activity, if you recognize the work, they will keep showing up and doing the activity and doing the work. You will help them form new pathways in their brain. Like, I'm really big on this in everything. Michelle and I had this conversation today. It was about something different, but you're constantly helping them form these new pathways in their brain. Most people are results driven. Most people only find their worth when they're getting the results, when they're ranking up, when they're getting customers, when they're bringing business partners in. It's the only time they actually feel like they are worthy, like they're doing something good. Help them rewire the pathways in their brain to, like, light up and be excited when they're doing the activity. So that pathway will know, oh, I'm going to get recognized when I show up. I'm going to get recognized just when I'm doing activity. Like, that's a big deal, right? You want them to feel that. You want that reward center to light up in their brain when they do the work, not just when they get the result. Because I'll tell you, when everything in your life is based on achievement, and I know a lot of you are there because I'm the same type of person where I used to be, you're never going to feel worthy. Because once you hit one goal, it's on to the next, and it's on to the next, and it's on to the next, and nothing's ever good enough, and you never feel fulfilled. I guarantee you, okay? So you want to offer rewards, recognition like crazy for activity, giving them gifts outside of just words of affirmation recognition for things other than results, right? That's why I run activity-based promos. Sometimes I'll do things like I'll send gifts out in my team just for the people that I see that are showing up the most, for people that I see that are cheering people on the most. You could even make badges, recognition badges. When I first started my team and my team was smaller, every month on our team kickoff Zoom, I would do special recognition. I would shout out people that I saw that were always lifting other people up, the most positive people on the team. I would shout out people that I saw as servant leaders that were showing up in the chats and answering people's questions regardless of whether they were on their team or not. I was rewarding those people. I would send them gifts, right? Like I was sending people who were the most coachable. Like those people that I did send to trainings. They did take notes. They did come back. They did go out and implement what I told them to do, right? Like I would send them gifts. I would shout them out, right? You can get creative with this. I know I had a conversation with Jordan earlier, and I loved that, you know, she's looking at doing recognition for people who hit the core rank, right? So in our team, our core rank is silver team leader. So if you have like a specific prize that people get anywhere in your team that hits silver team leader, they know that they're going to get this specific thing. When they hit that, they're going to go for it, right? Same thing, like the certain ranks on my team, they know when they hit that rank, they're going to get a gift in the mail from me for hitting that rank. Everybody on my team knows that if you hit Elite 3, you're going to get a Louis Vuitton purse. You hit Elite 2, you get a Louis Vuitton wallet. You hit Elite 1, you get a Tiffany's necklace. Like they know that they're going to get that when they get there. It's just an added extra incentive for them to get that. And they know when they're carrying their Louis Vuitton purse, or they're using their Louis Vuitton wallet, or they're wearing their Tiffany's necklace, that other people see it and they recognize that and they go, oh, she must have hit Elite. I hate to say it, but a status symbol, and it makes people feel good. Remember, different people feel loved and recognized in different ways, right? Some people want that. They want to be able to wear that Tiffany's necklace. They want people to see it and go, oh, she's Elite. Does that make sense? So it's understanding different people, but reward, recognition like crazy, Like I will tell you one thing, I do not take recognition for anything. Even if I'm the one who puts a plan together, I will never be like, I came up with this. I will always give somebody else the recognition. Any way I can give somebody else recognition. Like, I don't give a crap if people know my name I don't give a crap about any of those things. If I can point it to somebody on my team, if I can point it to somebody underneath me, I will point every time. Because let me tell you, that's how you raise a strong team. That's how you raise strong leaders. Give them the recognition. All right. Number 9. I know this is running long, you guys. I'm almost done. Sorry. I hope you guys are finding this valuable. Okay. Number 9, you want to always be encouraging growth. Encourage growth with your people. Whether it's personal growth, whether it's spiritual growth, whether it's professional growth, right? Like you guys hear me say it all the time. I say it on my lives. I say it to my team. I say it to you guys. My job is not just to help you be a better marketer and a better business owner and a better entrepreneur. My job is to help you be a better human. I will always encourage growth in every way possible. I will always speak to you in a way to help encourage you to dig into your spiritual growth, to do that personal development, to become a better human, to show up and serve others more, love others more, do nice and kind things for other people, for your team, for other people, for your cross line, for your upline, for your downline, for your sideline, for your prospects, for the people you're talking to on social media. Like I will always, always, always encourage growth in everybody. It's why I always talk about the one thing nobody can ever take away from you is your own growth. They can't take your skills away from you. They can't take the personal growth you have from your personal development. They can't take your spiritual growth. They can't take your relationship with the Lord. They can't take these things. And if you're always feeding into those things, right? And what did I say? They're always watching you. They're seeing you. Are you learning new things about how to grow your business? Are you investing in yourself with live events, with going to events? Are you investing with yourself on courses and trainings? Are you reading books that are going to better your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health? Are you showing up and getting your workout in every day? Are you showing up and eating right? Are you encouraging them to do the same thing? right? Are you showing up and doing your gratitude every day? Are you teaching them how to lead with gratitude, right? Like, are you helping them grow as humans and as leaders? Are you encouraging that in your team? Are you running challenges that have to do with mental health and spiritual health and growth and showing up and doing 30 minutes of personal development today? Are you encouraging them to make sure that they're growing their business personally, right? Like, are you encouraging them to go to that event? Are you encouraging them to have a coach? Are you encouraging them to watch trainings and then take action? Like, are you encouraging them to do these things, right? You always need to be helping them grow personally, financially, socially, freaking mentally, physically. It's not just about growing a business together. It's not just about helping them make money. You want people who are bonded to you for life, right? Like, I have a lot of people who have decided to leave my team because my business or my company or my products didn't end up being a fit for them, which I never make them feel bad about, because not everything's a fit for everybody, who still pay me to coach them because they want to work with me, because I'm not only making them a better marketer, I'm helping them be a better human, right? How amazing do you think I made them feel when they came to me and said, hey, look, this just isn't a fit for me. I found a better fit for my family, and I love you, but I have to do something different. And I said, girl, I got your back. I'm always here for you. I'm always here for advice. I'm always here to pour into you. I'm just as much here for you now as I would be if you were on my own personal team, because I care about you as a human. Those things matter, dude. They matter. You never know when that person might want to come back. You never know. I mean, I've had some of those people introduce me to some people who then ended up being the biggest leaders on my team. They might have left, but then they in turn introduced me to somebody else that this was a fit for, and now they ended up being a big leader on my team because I wasn't a jackass, right? Like, always be encouraging growth in people, okay? All right, last thing, and this is one of the most important, and this is the first thing I said to you guys today. You cannot lead with your emotions. What did I just say? How many of you have gotten super frustrated when people fell off or people decided to leave your team? It's part of business, man. It's part of business. Not everything's a fit for everybody, right? Like, you can't be emotional. I always ask myself in every situation I get put in a couple of things. Does this align with my values? Before anything comes out of my mouth towards anybody in any conversation with any decision, does this align with my values? Does this align with who I am at my core? If the answer is no, I don't say it. I don't do it, right? At the end of the day, like, I can't control other people. You can't control other people. I can control how I react to other people and their decisions. I can control what my personal decisions are. I can control the human I am. I can control whether I choose to love and serve people no matter what. I do not allow my emotions to come into my business. I do not get my feelings hurt when people choose to decide to step all over me. I do not lead with emotions when I find out somebody that left that I loved and supported goes and tries to recruit half my team. I do not lead with anger. I do not backlash on that person. I will protect my person. I will protect my team if I need to, but I'm not going to get angry, because I know at the basis of the reason for them doing that is because they are in a scarcity and a fear mindset. And if I allow myself to go there, then I'm no better than them. We cannot lead effectively, and we cannot have a happy, healthy, joyful, peaceful, growing team if we, the leader, are leading by emotion. Okay? Because everybody else is going to lead by emotion, right? It's the same thing. It's why I have these conversations with people all the time. It's why I had that conversation with that girl who wanted to leave. I just simply, Instead of being the two leaders in between me and her got super emotional. They freaked the F out. They're in my inbox. They're like, oh my gosh, she's going to leave. And so recruited them and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, stop. Don't get emotional. Let's dig in. Let's figure it out. Let me ask her the right questions. Let's see if this really is not a fit for her, or if it is and she's just living out of a scarcity and fear mindset. I asked the right questions. I figured out at the core what was wrong. She's all in, baby. She's back. She's all in. She just needed to have somebody who wasn't leading by emotions, who wasn't getting emotional about her leaving, have a real conversation with her, right? Now, had she came back and said to me, yeah, that's just not a fit, man. Like, I just don't feel it. I'm not getting results from the products. I don't like the way the system is or the company, whatever. Then I would have said, you know what? I love you anyways. Not everything's a fit for everybody. I'll always love you and support you. I wish you the best. I know you'll go crush it. And I would have just blessed and released. Does this make sense, you guys? Right? Understand that every single other person around you at all times is leading by emotion. Your customers are leading by emotion. Your team are leading by emotion. You have to be the one that's solid that is not. Okay? You have to be that voice of reason. You cannot lead with emotion. Okay? All right. Was this helpful, you guys? Do you find this valuable? Awesome. I know that there's not a whole lot of time, but does anybody have any questions or anything? Yeah, go ahead, Erin.
I think I may speak for, I don't know, some other people in here, but I mean, all of it is beautiful. It all makes perfect sense. I love it all, but it throws me for a loop when you then say that you only spend 20% of your time dealing with your team. Because this sounds like a full-time job right here.
But it's not. I may have given you a lot about leadership, but essentially, because I have led in the way that I have led, I don't deal with a lot of the problems that a lot of people have to deal with. It starts with that. That's why I built it. It starts with that vision.
How
Right.
much time would you say you spend with your team a day?
Honestly, maybe a couple hours.
So 2 hours is okay.
Maybe. And it depends. Like, I had this conversation with Allison yesterday. It depends on what's going on. Like, so now here, let me preface this. I used to, when I was building all of this, I had to spend more time. When I was building the vision and the culture, I had to spend more time, right? Like the first year, when I was the one putting together plans for everybody and making the Evernotes and stuff and delegating and all these things. And I still do that. But once I did the work one time, I did it in a way that I didn't have to redo it. So like all these Evernotes that I give you guys, like with these plans, like this Black Friday one I gave you guys, all I had to do was tweak some dates and tweak the products and the packages because I already had made it. And I delegated. That wasn't just me that made that. That was several people that put that together. But like, so like, let's say last year, like in November, I spent a lot of time on my team because I was putting the plan together. I was making sure they understood. I was doing all right. This year, I don't have to spend all that time because it's already made. So another thing I would encourage you to do, and everything you do, ask yourself, how can I make this so I only have to create it one time? That's why I always tell you to create tools. If there's a question that you answer a cajillion times, or if they're like your launch process, everything you should only have to create once, and then you should be able to continue to point people back to it. Just like when I was talking to you guys about when I do the compliment sandwich. Like, I know in any given situation exactly what training I'm going to point them to. Like, but if I could have something where I'm like, ooh, I don't know that, I need to go figure that out, I'm going to make a training. Just like, how many of you have I helped you build customer groups, right? Right? A lot of you I've helped you build your customer groups. So yesterday, I'm like, why the hell do I not have a training on this? So I don't have to keep saying the same damn thing over and over again. So yesterday, I made a training and I uploaded it on YouTube. So from now on, when I need to help somebody build a customer group, instead of explaining it to them, I'm just going to point them right to that training on YouTube. Make sense? So there are times where I have to spend a little bit more time doing certain things, but essentially, like, I at least get in 2 hours of power hours personally every day. Most of the time, it's more than that. Now, I spend 4 hours of personal work a day because I'm working 2 businesses. I'm prospecting for 2 businesses. I'm following up for 2 businesses, right? Like, so this month I brought in 3 new elite coaching clients. I brought in 5 new business partners for my business because I do so much personal work because I'm always doing those things on the back end. And then as far as team stuff, right? Like the more you actually build leaders and the more you learn to delegate, the less you have to do. So before I would be in a crap ton of 3-way chats, but now I'm not in so many anymore because I have built leaders underneath me that they're using their leaders. They're not using me anymore. Now, when I bring in a strong person and they're bringing in a crap ton of people, then the amount of time I have to spend on my team again is going to go back up because I have all these people coming in and I am helping with all those 3-way chats. And maybe I am getting on Zooms and doing new social marketer or new business partner Zooms to help people get inundated in the launch process and stuff because so many people are coming in at one time and I need to make sure that you know what I'm saying? It's going to go up and down the amount of time that I have to spend. But essentially, I'm always making sure that all these things are in alignment so that I can spend all that time on my personal business. So this is not to overwhelm you by any means. This is giving you the pillars of leadership and having you ask yourself these questions in every situation.
Beautiful. Super valuable, Bryn. Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Anybody else? Awesome. Okay. Well, I love you guys. Look, I know I dropped in the chat, but like seriously, you guys, when I told you guys about my Becoming a Badass mastermind that I'm doing, I highly encourage getting your teammates in there. It's only $67 a month. They'll get a weekly training like this with me on Zoom every Monday. How powerful would that be for your team, right? Like, and I'm giving them the basis. They're getting my power hour training, my tracker, my goal setting workshop. The Zoom I'm going to do this coming Monday is going to be my system, which is also going to go in the first unit. So they'll have the basics of every day. They'll know exactly what they need to do every day. They'll have the tracker. They'll know how to do their goal setting every month. They'll have my system that we're going to work through every single week. So, and I don't want you guys to think I'm saying this like, hey, make me money. I'm saying this because my goal is to help you guys get to your goals. And it's sometimes that I can't just do that just by speaking to you guys. Like, let me help train your people seriously. Because I know that essentially a lot of you would like some of your stronger leaders also in this group. But they have to be in that group before they're going to be ready to be in this group. Makes sense? So I encourage you guys to get as many of your people in there as possible because I would love to pour into your people too. Anyways, I love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing day. Let's go crush it. Okay, bye.